Frank was a Jewish girl. She and her family and friends were hiding in Amsterdam when Germany occupied Netherlands in World War II. Anne wrote this diary while they hid in her father Otto Frank's office building in Amsterdam. After 2 years of hiding, they were transported to the concentration camp where Anne died. Father Otto Frank, the only survivor, returned to Amsterdam after the war and found Anne's diary. He published Anne's diary in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl.
If I'm going to begin writing it right now, no one would understand anything. It would be better if I will provide a brief sketch of my life. My father, the most adorable father I have seen, married mom when he was 36 and my mom was 25. I have an older sister, Margot. In 1933, my father Otto Frank immigrated to Holland, and then my mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went Holland in September. Me and my sister Margot stayed with grandma, and in December, my sister went to Holland, and I went February next year.
Anne's father, Otto Frank, married Edith Hollander Frank when he was 36 and Edith was 25. Anne's sister Margot born in 1926. In 1929, Anne was born. When Anne was 4, her father immigrated to Holland. Her mother went there in September. Her sister Margot went in December, and Anne herself went in Feb next year on Margot's birthday.
I began studying at Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6. When I was in first grade, in the 6th grade, my teacher was Mirs Upras, the head minister. In the summer of 1941, when I was 12, grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with a little celebration. In January next year, in 1942, grandma died. So in my birthday that year, my grandma candle was lit among others. Today is 20th June of 1942 and the dedication of my diary. Dearest Kitty, our class is quacking with birds. The reason is the forthcoming meeting in which the teacher will decide who will pass and who will fail.
You're going to pass, Cian?
No, I'm not Jax.
Yes, you're going to pass.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you're going to.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you're going to.
No, I'm not.
There are so many dummies in the class. About a quarter of the class should be but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. I am not worried about my friends. We will make it. This subject I am not sure about in mathematics. Anyway, we will must wait. And after result, we keep telling each other to not lose heart. I am well with 9 teachers. 7 of them are men, 2 are women. Mr. Keeson, my old foggy math teacher, was annoyed with me from ages because I talked too much after several warnings.
And you have been talking for so long right now, and it's really, really irritating. So I'm gonna assign you an extra homework today, and it's going to be on the topic on a chatterbox.
What can I write about the charter box?
Then she wrote the title in her notebook and put it in the bag and tried to keep quiet till school. In the evening,
Anyone can ramble on and leave big space between words, but the trick is to come up with convincing argument to provide the necessity of talking.
According to Anne, during writing, anyone could ramble and leave big spaces between words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments about the necessity of talking.
Talking is a student trait. I will do my best to keep it under control, but I will never be able to cure myself of this habit since my mother talked too much as I did. And even more, there's not much one can do about inherited traits.
When Mr. Keesing read the essay,
So you've done the essay. Let me see what you've done.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so I forgive you for yesterday's mistake. I hope you'll be attentive from now on.
A few moments later.
But when I talked again in the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. This time it was an
Incorrigible chatterbox.
Incorrigible means something that can't be corrected. Anne handed the essay to him, and Mr. Keesing didn't complain for the two next lessons, but the third one he was angry enough.
And you are not paying attention in class right now. You are continuously talking with your classmates. So, as a punishment for today, I'll be assigning you an essay. It's the third essay. And it's gonna be on the topic, quack, 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 said Miss Chatterbox.
I thought I was nearly exhausted by my originality and inventiveness on the topic of chatterbox. The topic of chatterbox. It's time to come up with something else, something original.
her friend, San, was good at poetry.
Anne, I can help you write your essay from the beginning to the end in verses.
Thanks, San. Mr. Keesing was trying to make fun of me with this ridiculous subject, but I was making sure that the joke was on him. I finished the poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and its father swan. With three little baby ducklings, their father
Beat them to death.
because they quacked too much.
Luckily, Mr. Keesing took the joke the right way. He read the poem in class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes too.
Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any homework at all. On the contrary, he is always making jokes on these days.
Anneliese Mary Anne Frank, 12 June 1929 to February March 1945, was a German-born Jewish girl who wrote while in hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany but were trapped when the Nazi occupation extended into the Netherlands. As the persecutions against the Jewish population increased, the family went into hiding in July 1942 in the hidden rooms in a Father Otto Frank's office building. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to a concentration camp where Anne died of typhus in Bergen-Belsen within days of her sister Margaret Frank. Her father Otto, the only survivor of the group, returned to Amsterdam after the war ended to find that her diary had been saved. Convinced that it was a unique record, he took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. The diary was given to Anne Frank for her 13th birthday and chronicles the events of her life from 12 June 1942 until the final entry on 1st August 1944. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and has become one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television, and theatrical productions, and even an opera based on the diary. Described as work of a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation. Anne Frank has become one of the most renowned and discussed Holocaust victims.